fire, dude. Oh my god. Grizz came in clutch with the New Jersey, bro. Oh my goodness.
Oh, cool.
Holy smokes. What is up, fellas? What is up, chat? How we
You can
doing?
put it in the sun yet?
The sun?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. Why?
The patch changes colors.
Wait, like this patch here?
Yeah, the patch on the sleeve it'll change colors. It'll like the brain turns into like 5-6 different colors.
Shut up, dude. Bro, that's so fire. No, I literally like I was watching the new episode of Dave, if anybody hasn't seen that. Bro. Everything that like was so confusing about this entire season literally just made so much sense in episode 9. Like fantastic. Holy
I
smokes.
still need to catch up on Dave.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
you
that
need
show,
to.
though.
Like, there's so many hype things going on right now. One, Grizz jersey came in, super hype. Like, it looks better in person than I thought it would. Like, dude, hype off of that. Second off, I've been looking for these things everywhere. Everywhere. I didn't even know they came here yet. Shout out to Nate. Shout out to Whitney for going to pick them up. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Bang Energy has seltzers that are apparently extremely fire. Like,
You smart.
so good.
You loyal.
Yo,
You
battle.
grateful.
200
appreciate
biddies.
that.
Let's go, brother. Start us off hot tonight. But yeah, and then also we're back for episode 3. You know? It's lit. It's lit. Y'all would have thought we would have fell off. No, not yet. Not yet. We keep on going, doc.
Not ever.
Not now, not ever. Yes, sir, Ski. Are y'all sharing y'all screens? I feel like I should go ahead and pull y'all up so the chat can see y'all's beautiful faces.
Oh yeah.
Not yet. 1 second.
Struggling. I was trying to put a pre-order down on Back for Blood, so I can.
Oh
play
yeah,
the
I've heard a
awesome
lot of
game.
stuff about that. I haven't looked into it yet, but I've heard good things about it. Right now, I'm all about the the Apex, soon to be 2K. Yeah, that's where we at.
I haven't gotten to play the new Apex yet, but if you ever played Left 4 Dead back in the day, I'm pretty sure this game is just like a continuation of that series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
a super co-op game.
I'm with it. Well, like I was saying, welcome everybody. I appreciate you all stopping back in today. We got a fun little show today. Today's show, as you guys can see, is going to be the bucket list. We're going to talk about some of our favorite artists, some of the artists that we will want to see but have not got the opportunity to see yet, and also some of the festivals that we have not gotten to go to yet. And I can promise you that they probably have some that actually we're probably going to share a few. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't share a few. So I want to first talk good news. I want to see if you guys have had anything good going with you guys this week. We're almost at Friday. There was speculation today. August 6th is the date for Donda. All right, so I'm fingers crossed, staying up until midnight to see if Donda hits my freaking Apple Music playlist. Because if it does, your boy's staying up all night. All right, facts. I don't care. Donda is gonna end COVID. You heard it here first. Clinton shared a post earlier where there's a countdown on Apple Music. I haven't seen it yet, but apparently there's a countdown that's supposed to get us ready for the album release. So fingers crossed, Kanye, don't let us down like you've done the last 3 years. Every time he announces a new album, it never comes out on release day ever. Obviously, Donda was supposed to come out 2 weeks ago.
About that. I
Right.
was talking to a friend about that, and she was like, "Are you excited for Donda?" I was like, "Nope, I haven't looked into it at all because it's not coming out." And then it didn't come out. So.
That's what I'm saying. I love Kanye. Don't get me wrong. I've had this conversation on stream before. I feel like Kanye is one of my top 5 favorites. But You got to put it out, bro. Like, you can't sit there and do this little album release party, charge mofos $95 for some chicken tendies and fries, and then not drop the album. I mean, how petty is that, bro? Could you imagine showing up?
$5 chicken tendies are mega petty. I can't imagine how I would feel right now if
Bro,
I had shown up.
I
to
would
that.
be furious. I'd be so mad. But hey, I'm holding out for him again. I'm a Kanye supporter. You know, we'll see what happens at midnight. If it comes to it and he doesn't release it, then y'all can come for me. I'm fine with that.
My friend did make a good point to me about it. The same friend I was talking to, where I was like, he's not going to release it. She was like, you know, maybe that's his process. Like, maybe he can't finish the album until he has so much pressure that, like, he has to sit down and do it. And that's the only logical explanation I can think of. Because, like, why else would you do this every time? Like, you know, if it was anything else, he would finish the album and then announce it.
Yeah, I don't know. I also think it could be a tactic to go along with that, like the hype train. Like, he's building up the hype, and now that you've pushed it back even more people want the album. Like, we all want to hear it now. And just that simple tease at the end with that feature with Jay-Z, that's all people needed to hear. Once I heard Jay-Z come in on the second verse, I was like, hold on. He reeled me in. Kanye, thank you. Let's go. I'm ready. Like, dude, oh man, my mouth just dropped. I couldn't believe it. And literally, I stayed up. I stayed up that entire night waiting. 12:05, nothing. 12:30, nothing. Okay, maybe it'll come out at, like, you know, we're waiting on West Coast time. 3 o'clock, we'll be good to go. Woke up at 6, nothing. I was like, Kanye, what? Where's it at?
Kanye again.
But it is what it is. So let's go ahead, move on, dive straight into it. Today's highlights, like I said, we're gonna talk about our bucket list. We're gonna discuss shows, artists. Hopefully, we got some clips. We got a new little segment coming halfway through the show. Our boy Dev's gonna hook us up with some knowledge. And then I've got a few topics that I want to talk to you guys about closer towards the outro. So, without further ado, let's just dive in, boys. So, y'all had a little bit of time. I know I got the notes to you guys a little late. I'm sorry, but realistically, as an EDM head, it should not be that hard to depict a bucket list for yourself. Let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. It shouldn't be that hard. Right? Am I right?
It's harder to narrow the bucket list down to like a good number. You know, I could sit here and throw up like 30 people that I would love to see and have a great time seeing, but narrowing it down is the challenge. That's all I'll say.
So then I guess my question to you guys to start us off tonight, how would you define your bucket list? Do you feel like a bucket list is more directed towards artists, or do you think festivals are a little more exciting when it comes to, you know, defining what you actually want to accomplish with your list of shows?
I think it's hard to yeah, I'm not being polite this week, Trowski.
I was waiting for you to go.
I think it's hard to say one or the other, honestly. You know, I hate to give an answer like that, but like there's a handful of festivals that I'm just like, I don't really even care about the lineup. Like, I know that even if I don't recognize a single name on that lineup, I'm going to go and it's going to be fire. And I'm going to like leave and have new artists that I love.
Yep.
And then, you know, but there are also artists that I have never seen or may never get the opportunity to see now, that I would love to see, that if I saw their name pop up on something, that would immediately be like at the top of my list, you know?
That's fair. Trowski, what about you, man?
To me, I feel like a bucket list more so is festivals. Just because, I mean, anytime I think of a festival, I'm like, man, I hope this person's on the lineup. But I don't think I'd ever like list out, a bunch of shows that I want to go to. It's more so festivals, just because I can see more artists. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
Lost Lands. I mean, there's so many artists on that lineup that like I look forward to seeing, or I'm seeing again for the first time, or for
Right.
second, third time. But I don't know. As far as bucket list goes, I mean, there's a few festivals that come to mind.
And we'll obviously touch on that a little bit later. I think for me, and I kind of had a hard time putting together this list just on some of the other topics that we've got to discuss later. And similar to what I talked about last week, I feel like I've seen so many different artists. Like I'm going through this list and I'm like, okay, who have I not seen that I want to see? I've seen Subtronics. Shoot. I've seen San Holo. Shoot. I've seen Elydium. Shoot. I've seen Excision. Damn it. Like all these big name people that everybody's like, man, I would love to see that person. I'm like, I've seen them. Like, so I think for me, kind of going along with you guys, it did start to sort of shift to a bucket list for festivals because of the experience. Not necessarily the artist list, but just being able to say in general, like, I've been to EDC Vegas. I mean, that's the finish all. I mean, anybody that's gone to that, you're basically, you can retire. You can be a retired raver at that point. Like I truly believe, and you can hold me to this, I will probably still go to shows as long as I am capable and able to walk. But
110%.
I do believe that once I have attended EDC Vegas, I will probably not go to festivals after that. And I know like that's like a weird thing to say because it's like, well, why would you want to just quit and give up on things that you love? It's not necessarily that, but the reason I would go to it, and I've talked to many people that have gone to EDC Vegas, they have clearly stated you do not experience anything close to that after you've gone. And so I don't want to say what's the point, but literally like, why? Like, I'm going to be expecting to see something on that grand scale and know I'm never going to experience it again unless I go back to EDC Vegas. And my wallet ain't going to let that happen more than once. Let's be real. Like, it's not going to happen more than once. But
I looked at going if they had it in May, because Macy and I had both just graduated, and we were going to Vegas anyway, and we were like, yeah, if EDC Vegas is happening, like we'll go during EDC Vegas because we both been vaccinated and all that, and that was before the Delta variant was going crazy. So
yeah. Which, speaking of, I mean, I guess we can kind of tie. I'm never gonna get political or anything like that. Everybody that knows I hate politics, but what do you guys think about the new Festive Owl post from maybe like an hour ago? What's the there's a festival that's about to commence soon. No.
Commencing soon.
Well,
there's another one, yeah.
there's another one that just announced that they're going to require vaccination cards and or proof of negative COVID test in order to attend. And apparently there's speculation that a lot of festivals that remain in the fall are going to be providing that as well. And I've been very, very curious. The Louis the Child show that is in Ohio, in Columbus, they just announced today that their show is moving outdoors at Express Live instead of inside their venue because of the regulations that are starting to be filtered out. So I'm curious if that will affect Lost Lands at all. I don't know what Excision's stance is with that, but I feel like majority of the EDM community is very pro-vax anyway, so I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue, but I definitely think it raises some questions on the future of live music realistically, because
I have so many feelings about this topic.
I mean, feel free to share, man. Like, I'm interested because everybody has different opinions on it. Obviously, I'm never gonna fight anyone on any stance. You know, it's your choice to do with with it what you
Writing isn't
will.
gonna really convince
Exactly.
anyone of anything
Exactly.
anyways.
Never.
It's not gonna. You're not gonna have someone who has their mind made up change their mind. If
Exactly.
You get in a fight with them, so. But yeah, I actually went to Lollapalooza for one day
Oh,
on Sunday.
sorry.
Macy and I did. No, it's cool. It's cool. It works well with this segment. But we went on Sunday, and they were actually requiring that you like show your vaccination card. So we were stressed beforehand, like about like I was like, where is mine? I have a picture of it. Will they take a picture? Like how well is it enforced? And I mean, it was all right. It was I found my picture that you could show them like your phone or your physical card. It wasn't like a super long ordeal or anything, but I definitely, and I'm not going to say it on the podcast because in case this like blows up or something, I don't want people to be like, "Oh, I'm going to sneak in like this." But I definitely see a way that you could potentially get around their system, but it would be hard to do that like before like to just like commit to doing that. Like maybe
Right.
if you lived in Chicago and your friend went on like Friday or Saturday
Right.
and told you Sunday that you could do this, you would do it, but that would be about it.
Well, I want to put that conversation on hold because I actually do have a Lala segment towards the end that I wanted to talk about. So we can loop back to that and kind of touch on that again. So reverting back to bucket list conversations. With that being said, right now you're in a dark alley. Dude walks up to you. He's like, "Homie, you got one answer, all right? Or I punch you square in your mouth. You got 10 seconds. Who's your number one person on your bucket list right now?" Trowski, go. Trowski, go.
Probably Alice in Wonderland, just because I've never seen her. And I really enjoy her music, and I saw some of her Lala set, and it looked incredible. So she'd probably be my number one right now.
I've definitely heard that. I've seen that she's been working on stuff for Red Rocks, and I was like, oh God, I'd love to experience that.
We have tickets to Red Rocks. Macy and I do. Macy's a huge Alice in Wonderland fan.
Mm.
But we went. That was the whole reason we went to Lala, and we've seen her once at Electric Forest before.
Right.
And I liked her, but I wasn't like a huge fan. Like like I wasn't like playing her music on my own, but I wasn't upset when Macy played her music either. And then I
Appreciate
saw
that,
her
Tater.
live, and it was super super impressive. Like it exceeded all expectations. It was like at midnight on my 24 going into 25th birthday that I saw her, and she like killed it. She killed it, and I'm a huge fan now. I listen to her radio show, Radio Wonderland.
I stumbled across her. I mean, I obviously knew who she was, but I never really gave her the time of day, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I just never really put any of her music on. And then I remember one day I was just like, you know what? Let me just listen to like an album or something. See what's going on. And then what's the song that she's got with Chief Keef?
Baby Dragon.
Yes.
That's one of Macy's favorites. She
I love that song. Love that song so much. Like, I mean, I would literally get into the car and play that first every single time. It did not matter. But yeah, like once I started listening to things more and more and more, I was like, oh my God, like I freaking love you. And then obviously I showed you all last week. I got the Alice in Wonderland jersey, which it's basic, but it's fire. Like I love that thing. So I can respect that. I'd love to see her too. Devin, what about you?
So the person that I would pick isn't an EDM person, but this holds very, very just true all the way down to my core. And this is someone that I regret never seeing before, painfully. Like this was a question on the notes for today that I literally didn't even have to think about because I've already thought about. It's Kanye. It's fucking Kanye. It's
Bro,
Kanye
I was
West.
going to
I've
say
never
that
seen
earlier.
Kanye.
Oh my
God.
gosh, that's so funny. I literally thought that so hard. I was like, I just
Like,
don't
he's
think
not
it'll
doing
ever
normal
happen.
tours
I just
anymore.
don't
Like,
think it'll ever happen.
Yeah, I'm like mind blown. I remember, dude, 808s and Heartbreak in like the 8th grade in my one iPod headphone.
Wrapped around your ear.
I didn't go that far with it. But I played 808. If I wish I had the stats on how many times I'd listened to that album.
That's
As an
so
8th grader,
funny,
totally
dude.
relating.
I literally thought about that. Kanye, if you ever see this video, bro, just drop Donda tonight, get us all hype, and then announce a Donda tour and come to Cincinnati. I doubt it'll happen.
I'll go.
I'll pay for it. I don't care. I will.
I'll go with the
$200 for nosebleeds. I'm in there. I just want to experience the energy. I want to be lifted by Ye. Okay, that's where I'm at.
Transcend. My spirit would leave my body and float up. Especially with this whole new gospel direction. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kanye is my answer. I can throw out an EDM answer too, if you want, but it doesn't compare. Like,
Let's go. I mean, go for it. Go for it. Let me hear it. Who else you got?
The only person that I haven't seen out of everyone we used to listen to in the back of Trowski's piece of shit Dodge Stratus is sorry, I had to do that. It was awful, but it's Skrillex, and I've seen him perform as Dog's Blood. But it would just be nice to be like, yeah, I've seen all the big ones that we used to listen to in the back of my friend's car. So he would be the next one.
I can feel that. Well, Trowski probably knows what my answer is going to be, just because I've fell in love with their music. I've heard so many different things, but after watching clip after clip after clip after video, I'm like, how have I not seen them yet? And then lo and behold, they announced a tour that they were coming to Cincinnati, and I was so freaking excited. I bought tickets immediately, sent in my proof of verification to get the meet and greet. 2 days later, I get an email that says I won the meet and greet, and I was on cloud 9, dude. And then stupid freaking COVID wanted to slide in and just rip that chance out from underneath me. But I'm going to get my chance to see them. And I'll just let the video do the talking.
Nah, this is on there.
Dude! Oh my God. I swear to you. Bosslands, I am going to lose my absolute mind. I'm telling you, can't tell me anything. You can't talk to me. Like, literally, I'm going to be out of my mind. Like, the amount of times that I've seen them play certain clips on their Twitter page, I'm always at a loss for words at the production quality that they have. Their visuals are insane. Their lights are insane. And
they do that all on stage too.
Exactly. That's the most impressive thing about it, is that it's nothing behind, like, they are literally doing all of this as the show is going on.
Even the helmet lights are controlled by like a touchpad drum
Yeah.
that one of the guys up there is doing.
It's
That-
Julian that
really
controls it.
That's just insane. Like, yo, BTSM, I mean, you all literally are my number one. Like, number one right now. And I know I'm going to be able to cross that off the list. And there's going to be a new number one. But as of right now, that's going to stand and hold true. And it can't be changed. I mean, holy smokes. I remember sitting, too, when I first got my little LED Nanoleaf lights, I actually was watching the futuristic tour video because I remember when COVID happened, they had said they were going to do a live video of one of their shows as just kind of like a tribute for people that didn't get an opportunity to see it. And I just remember sitting there with the lights off and having my LED lights around my room and all this synced up and just freaking losing my mind at a computer screen. So the thought of being able to see that in a crowd of however many that's going to be at Lost Lands, oh, dude, chills. Literal chills. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks that you didn't get your meet and greet, but like, I mean, Lost Lands is literally the perfect place to see them. That stage is about to be ginormous. They caught the stage on fire last year. So like, I mean, the show is gonna be amazing.
It is. Their energy is just unmatched. Yeah, I mean, it's unmatched from anything that I've seen.
For one of their shows too, the one that I went to with Trowski before COVID happened last year, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is like the nicest crowd of people we've ever, like, even for like EDM like crowds, they were super nice."
They are.
And Julian was super nice because remember we hung out and I talked to him for a little bit. We got to meet Blank. He was super nice too and had that awesome Australian accent.
Yeah, the poster. Yeah,
I got it. It's signed.
Is it
by Julian? Yeah.
I want to get my jersey signed. I want to get my jersey signed at Lost Lands. Speaking of, like, one of the ideas. Well, I'll talk about that on another episode when we get closer to Lost Lands.
The Lost Land hype episode.
Yeah, it'll be the week before. Gotta be. That's gonna be a good one. So make sure you all tune in for that. All right. Well, I guess building off of that, then we'll go into a little bit more of an extended list. We actually talk about our bucket list. Who's on that thing? And kind of like I said before, the hardest part for me was that I've literally seen so many people. Like, I kept trying to think over and over, like, who have I listened to the most? When I get into my car, who do I throw on? And obviously I've started to find a lot of new artists. I've got a segment for that at the end that are smaller, up and coming artists, which is fantastic, but not really somebody that I'm like, oh, dude, I gotta go see them. The only people that was like that was Midnight Kids, and I got to see them in Columbus at Breakaway, which I get to see Kyle again at Red Rocks in a couple weeks because he's opening up for Said the Sky, which is amazing. Hats off to you, Kyle. Keep up the good work, dude. Like, literally, your Midnight Kids remix to We Know Who We Are was brilliant. But if I had to pick my list right now, my top 5 bucket list for artists would be obviously BTSM, number 1. Porter, number 2. Porter has to be in that list for me. I know both of them. I'll be able to knock them off the list this year. I know I went to the drive-in last year, but I don't count it because I actually went to experience her own show. But I'm throwing Rez at number 3 because there's something about her music that just it puts me in this weird state where I'm just like calm, but like I'm also vibing like super hard. Like Edge, undeniably one of the greatest songs, and then also when you hear that song live in a crowd and everybody at the same time in sync is just ba 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 ba, like, dude, chills every single time. It's fantastic. So I really want to experience that. I'm super salty because if I had known that Whitney and I were going to go to Said the Sky, Red Rocks, I would have purchased tickets because she's literally at Red Rocks the day before Said the Sky plays on Saturday. So it could have been Res Rocks on Friday, Said the Sky on Saturday. I've got my eyes peeled, so if anybody knows anybody that's selling tickets at a reasonable price, I'm interested. But I know it's sold out right now. Number 4, Armin van Buuren. I know that's a shocker. It could become as a shocker to some people, but I am a huge fan of trance music still. I love what he does with his A State of Trance podcast series. I've always found some good remixes to popular songs or just new artists that he shares on that channel. And it really, like I said last time, that's really something that's like more of uplifting, escape style music. And so listening to that, if I see him on any list near me, that's 100% going. I don't care. And then last, what Devin said with Skrillex has to be on that list just to say you've seen him. I mean, his music has changed a little bit from what it was when we were younger, but I would love to just be able to say like, yes, I've seen Skrillex live. Like, you know, I've had that opportunity. So that's my 5. I'm sticking to it. What y'all got? Y'all can roast me. Y'all can toast me. Whatever you want.
Seen everyone on your 5 if you count Skrillex at Dogblood is all I have to say.
Fair.
But I love them all. Like if I were doing repeats on my list, I would put Porter back on there undoubtedly. I've seen Rez probably 5 or 6 times now.
I had the chance 2 years
always
ago.
great.
She was at what was it, Halloween Fest or whatever the fest.
Oh, yeah.
The
Was it Halloween?
no, it was
No.
whatever was in Columbus. It
Yeah.
was like a Halloween show. She was there with Ariel Grime and somebody else. It was a really
Bro,
good.
that show already sounds like the best show.
It
you
was
could
it
ever
was a really good.
Yeah.
I just didn't have anybody to go with, so I didn't go.
You hate to see that.
I know. But anyways, you were saying.
What else? Oh, the interesting thing about Rez is that she signed to Mousetrap, which is Dead Mouse's label, and he's like a huge influence on her music. And you know, I never realized that for a long time until I saw that she and Dead Mouse were doing a show together and like looked into it. But yeah, it makes sense because she's got almost that like it's like dubstep, but it's got like a trancey, hypnotic, like repetitive techno type vibe
Yeah.
in some situations, which is Dead Mouse like all the way. So it makes sense once I realized that
Yep.
why she has that feel.
I'm with it though. Love it.
Oh, 100%.
Not to mention her. Did you get to see her virtual reality show that she did?
Yeah, Macy and I watched it. It was pretty.
Did you actually do it in VR?
No, I don't have like a headset or anything.
So I went to my buddy's house and we actually did it in VR and it was nuts. I mean, literally, like seeing it on TV was one thing, but actually being in that virtual crowd and like watching like the hand like just come down over top of you it was so cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen her a few times. I think. Have you ever been to Aragon Ballroom in Chicago?
No, so Whitney and I were supposed to see Slander last year, and that's where it was at, and we didn't go because of COVID.
To go
obviously.
to that venue. Yeah. Well, COVID aside, you need to go to that venue. It's such a cool venue. I've been there to see San Holo and Rez on like Halloween in 2019 or roughly. That's Macy's birthday, so we went up and saw Rez and whatnot there. But it's one of the coolest venues I've ever been to. I just had to throw that out there since it's kind of related.
I hope this doesn't have any. There's an artist that I'm trying to find. I can't even pronounce this. Gesaffelstein? Gesaffelstein?
I don't know how to pronounce it either. So
You
I
know,
can't help
you know what I'm
out.
talking
I
about?
know exactly who you're talking
So-
about. Yeah.
Hold on, I want to show you this video. Make sure I pull it up the right way.
His set on the Coachella stream. a few
So
years ago.
who is he, or who are they? Because I don't want to be incorrect about his music or anything. I just saw this video, and I remember watching it. And I was like, bro, this video has such this crazy energy that I just love. Like just watching it gives me this crazy energy. Like look at this.
To Coachella was like that.
Like, dude, I just don't know, man. Something about this just gets me going, bro.
Yeah. Oh, this would be an experience.
Like, it's just, it's nothing like crazy hype or anything. It's just vibey. Like, being in that room and just like, you're just vibing out, bro. Like, you're not going nuts. You're not headbanging. Everybody's just having a good time. Where did Trowski go?
Favorite. I don't know. Probably something with his dog or something.
That's
I
fair.
just saw that he was gone too. But dude, that's my type of music. You've seen me at the dubstep shows, and I love a good dubstep show. But I like house, techno, like anything that you can just like vibe to. Because like at a dubstep show, your whole experience is like the stage and like what's happening up there. Like you are locked in. Like you can't have a conversation with somebody. You can, but you're like yelling to talk
Yeah,
to them
yeah.
and it's fun. It's cool. But I love like a good late night house set somewhere. The crowd's not super packed. The music isn't like super demanding your attention. Like you can vibe, you can talk to people, you can dance, you can like walk around, you can do whatever. And that's my favorite experience, which is
I can
it's just after you've been to so many shows or so many festivals, there's always something like that going on at like midnight to 2 a.m. and it's always just a good time.
I can respect that. I got nothing wrong with that at all.
It's an experience. Anyone who went and did it would have a good time and would be cool with it.
Trowski, what about you? Your top
Well, my
five.
top five.
Yeah.
Allison, Porter, Keizo.
I was gonna
Kaizo.
put him
I
on
still
there.
don't know how you properly say it.
I just say Kaizo. I don't think it
Kaizo,
really
that's
cares.
what I
Everybody knows
say.
everybody knows who you're talking about.
Right. Skrillex is on there, of course, and then that boy DJ Diesel, aka Shaq.
I thought
need
about
to
that
see him.
too. Speaking
But
of
I still
Kaizo,
see him at Lost Lands.
he might be in the Ohio area this weekend. Cray's playing in Columbus tomorrow, so
Ooh.
10 out of 10 recommend.
he may be here, dude. Columbus has got some shows coming up, like Who's Kid, Drezzo, Cray. There's a couple others that I saw that I was like, damn it, dude, I really want to go.
Yeah, some of the ones that were like close to making the list would be Slushy and
Dude, Slushy's fantastic. Seen him twice. Oh, so good.
and Bear Grylls. Bear Grylls is on my list to see too.
Had the chance to see Bear Grylls, and speaking of, I've actually it's funny you say that because I've got an addition to that later in the show. One of the new artists that I recently found has a song with Bear Grylls that just came out, and they have an EP coming out soon, and it's a treat to listen to. I actually sent you guys the team. Jesus, I just saw my softball chat. I actually sent you guys the artist, Lodis, Lodis. Check him out. Fantastic.
I'll definitely check them out.
So that leads us to our brand new topic of the week, and it's gonna start being
again.
Wait, you already went, didn't you? I thought you went after
My
me.
top five with my top five.
Didn't you go after me, or did you just repeat what I said?
He
and-
just started repeating something.
Oh, I literally thought he was just going off of me.
Responding to what you said, yeah. I saw everyone on your list. That was the
I
first
didn't
thing
know.
I
Shoot, my bad, cuz.
said. I can hurry up with this.
No, you don't even got to, because we'll just twirl right into your next segment.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll just include it at the end.
Yeah.
I can work with that. But my top five are obviously Kanye West was number one. Then Mac Miller, R.I.P. I love his music, even his posthumous stuff, and just wish I saw him. And then number three is another situation like that. I_O. I don't know if you're familiar with who that is.
Yeah,
but
Garrett.
I was supposed to see him. Yeah, Garrett.
Yeah.
And Sullivan King at Lollapalooza did a tribute to him. Not to jump things again, but I was super geeked at that. Super glad to see that happen. But yeah, I really wanted to see him. I was supposed to see him at Buku before COVID, and then he passed away from some crazy condition. At first, I thought it was like a depression thing, but he actually had some sort of crazy medical condition and passed away over COVID. So,
Damn.
and I always joked that I just wanted to go like hear how he introduces himself because it's like a funny face. I wanted to know, does he say I'm I_O, or does he like say I'm and like put his face on the screen and make a funny face? That's probably what I would do. But anyway, so that's the top 3. And then number 4 is Kayvon. I don't know if you know who that is.
Kayvon, yes sir.
Kayvon, yeah. I don't know how to say his name.
Got his jersey too. Saw him at Breakaway.
I was super impressed. Yeah, I'm very jealous of that.
Yeah,
it's one of the few
it's
I haven't seen yet.
One of my favorite jerseys, if I'm being honest.
That Galaxy one?
Yes.
Yeah, that one was
What
pretty
I
cool.
have for number 5? I'm looking at my notes. I had it in here somewhere. This may be controversial, but I actually had Diplo for number 5. I got really into him at one point, but he has some weird controversy going on right now.
Yeah.
So he may have to be bumped off the top 5 list, but
Ski.
we'll see. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, that's my top 5. And then the fun fact of the day.
Let's hear it.
Yes. Okay, so I don't know if you all have ever thought about this, but like EDM, like that music, this whole genre actually comes from a genre that everybody knows about. It wasn't popular while any of us were alive, but everyone knows and like does a funny like dance move there's associated with it. It's disco. All EDM came from disco in the 70s and 80s. But I had no idea until I was just like, laying in bed one night and was like, how did this even get started? But yeah, thinking about it, it makes a lot of sense. The disco balls, the like funky outfits, the synth, the drums, being on computer for the first time, makes perfect sense that it came from disco, but I would have never guessed it.
And I feel like, maybe this is just me taking it into context, but when I think about some of the older dance music, I mean, look at most of the videos by Daft Punk. For some reason, I feel like that disco comparison makes sense when you think about things that they've put out. Most of the songs that they've came out with, most of the music videos that they came out with, it all seems to have that sort of like disco-y vibe theme. So, I mean, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I'm going to put them in the number 5 spot instead of Diplo because that's a way better.
Is that even fair, though? Like, that's never going to happen.
Well, neither is Mac Miller, but
That's true. That's true.
That's part of why they're on the bucket list, because they can't happen. I can't have it, and I want to see those shows more than anything. But,
That's true. I can respect.
But yeah, they actually talk about, and another random fact, we're piling them on, but they talk about it in their Random Access Memory album. On one of their songs, they used to go play at the discotheques in France, and that's how they got into it. That's how they got started. They'd go like every weekend and just play it at a disco.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's we got to come up with a clever name for the segment.
need some like music right before he says something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to have like a little sound bite. It's like
something.
or like the more you know sound. That'd be hilarious. We'll work on that.
Something good will
We'll
come
work
up.
on that for next week, you guys. We'll work on that for next week. All right. So attaching on to our bucket list conversation, this will be our last little piece. Let's talk about festivals. The big coup de grace that we all said would be more of our focus on bucket list. The hard thing about festivals and a bucket list is I really feel like majority of people could potentially be the same. There were things that I wanted to put on there because I only did a top 3. There were things that I wanted to put on there but I probably knew that it would probably never happen for me. Obviously, Tomorrowland would be a big one. I really truly don't believe that that would ever be within my lifetime. Not this
It's in your
lifetime.
30s. Don't
Yeah.
don't
No.
don't cross it out. I never believed
Eh.
anything that I've been to would be in my lifetime. And
Maybe. But one of the ones on my bucket list, obviously I'll be able to cross off this year. But I still feel like it deserves to be counted. So top three, EDC Vegas, obviously number one. That's gonna hold that spot until I attend it, and then after that, I'm done. Just gonna go to shows. And then number two, Lost Lands. That's a given. But once that gets knocked off, number three spot will bump up, and then I kind of have an honorable mention that will probably take its place. Electric Forest is number three. I think that's something that I would also love to experience. I've heard nothing but good things about it. Just the experience, the vibe. Anybody that's seen the mystical Said the Sky piano set in the woods, I mean,
I was there.
I would have literally cried tears, a freaking river of tears to see that and experience that. The videos alone were enough. Not to mention the Said the Sky Electric Forest jersey, which is still one of the most beautiful pieces of clothing I've ever seen. And then my honorable mention is one that I actually think I would have the chance to go to this year. There are some things that are going on outside of that, so I probably won't be able to go this year. But Hijinks, I would love to go to Hijinks in good old PA. I've heard kind of good things about it, but just the lineup is nuts, and I think it would be super cool to experience a festival setting for New Year's Eve. I think that'd be awesome. So that's my 4. 3 honorable mention.
Devin.
I have to respond to what Jalen said first. I forgot about hijinks, but if you go there for New Year's Eve, let me know.
Okay.
I was there for the Said the Sky piano set in Electric Forest and had no idea what I was seeing until later that day. I just thought it was some guy playing a piano, but they were talking about it later, and
Just a guy playing a piano.
Said this guy in the piano, like playing the piano, and I was like, yeah. Macy and this girl had figured it out, or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I was there, had no idea. If I had known how big of a deal it was, especially to you, I would have taken some sort of video, or like copped the jersey. I don't know, but I had no idea what I was witnessing.
Yeah.
But,
History.
history right there. But Electric Forest is like that. That's why it's what it should be on your list. It's great that it is on your list. Also, I live like less than an hour from where Electric Forest happens, so definitely come up. We can go grab a fresh shower in the mornings at that festival, or go to the lake or something. Whenever they have it, and you get to come up.
I can respect that.
Yep. I think that's everything I had response wise.
Okay. Well, I don't want to skip over you, so let's go ahead and talk about your top 3.
Okay, I'll make sure we have Rudkowski too. I think number 1 is Shambhala. I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's not as well known as a lot of festivals. It's in, I think, British Columbia, Canada. But the vibes there are supposed to be immaculate. Like
BTSM normally plays at that, doesn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they played there pretty often. It's like family owned. It is like one of the only music festivals that has no corporate sponsorship. And so that's cool because it just like it lets the situation be like completely uninterfered with by capitalism and corporate things. All the food that they have there, there's a river that runs through it that like people will like go hang out and do stuff in, and it's very like environmentally conscious, and all the food there is vegan, which I'm not a vegan or anything, but I do try and reduce my meat consumption, but we won't get into that. And it's just great. It seems like a great vibe, like maximum vibes at this festival. I would love to go. So that's my number one. And then number two is EDC Las Vegas.
Bet.
I think that's the overlap that we're all three gonna have is EDC Las Vegas because I mean it is just insane. Like it's one of those festivals where there will be like crazy secret sets and all the production
Yeah.
will be like as good as it could possibly be. So I really want to go there. Haven't been there for that yet. And then number three, which I will hopefully be going to in 2023 with Patrick Ucci, is Coachella. And that's just for, Coachella has a lot of, I'm sure there's a lot of stigma around Coachella, but they have a lot of secret sets and things that Gefhol Hassenstein, or however you say his name, I saw a set from him at Coachella that was pretty mind blowing. Alice in Wonderland has done like secret Coachella DJ sets. Definitely an experience. Definitely like an industry like trendsetter type festival.
Right.
So I'd love to go.
I can
Oh,
dig
Kanye
that.
West did his Sunday service there.
Yeah, he did.
They've got cool things,
I can dig that. Trowski, what you got?
EDC Las Vegas, obviously, like everybody else. I am going to EDC Orlando this year, so that'll be cool. I'm sure it doesn't compare, but Las Vegas would be nice, especially because I think Lost Lands is amazing. So it would be nice to compare the two, because everybody does say, Vegas is the pinnacle of the EDM scene. So
Yeah.
two would be Electric Forest. I was supposed to go in 2020, obviously COVID. So I'm hopefully with them pushing that back to 2022. I'll make it then. And then I think my third would probably be Ultra.
Yeah.
Just because that lineup is always usually amazing.
Yeah, it is.
And it has a pretty good variety. So that would be cool. And I
Ultra
guess-
Ultra
ahead.
always has good back-to-back sets. I feel
Yeah,
like
I
every
know.
single time they announce their lineup, like I look on there and I'm like, how am I going to miss that back-to-back set? Like how? That's
Right.
beyond me.
Yeah, I know, because I looked at like even just like 2019's lineup, and I was like, God, there's so many good people on this. And like Odessa would be there, which I've seen Odessa, and they're
I've
amazing.
not.
I would love to see them again. But yeah, that would probably be on there. And then just a little Excision obviously announced his new beach festival, which I don't know how I feel about a beach festival, but it would be cool to experience it at least once. And it was all inclusive, so I'm like, do I pull the trigger? But it's $1,000. So...
Yeah, I think that's a festival I would love to go to, but I would definitely need a group. Like there's no way I'm going by myself.
Right.
Like I would need to have, and I know I would have a good time with Whitney and I don't disbelieve that by any means necessary. But I would love for us to be able to have like a good group, like an entire group to go to where we can all experience that. Like going to smaller festivals, when we went to Breakaway, like that was awesome. It was such a good time. But if we were to go to something like, Electric Zoo or something like that, like I would want multiple of us there, more so for safety purposes too, just because I feel more comfortable with the group of people that I know and not just, me and her. So yeah, I definitely can feel that. But there is one thing else too, and I forgot to add this. Starbase.
Yeah.
I am very, very, very upset that it is the weekend that we are not able to go. I am so sad. Like, I would love, I don't know if it's going to be a year-to-year thing. They'll probably see how well it goes this year. If you got a chance to go to Starbase, please don't mess it up, because I want to go
Yeah.
next year. I really do.
It's on my list to possibly go because like Alice in Wonderland's actually on that lineup.
I know, man.
And she's not on obviously Lost Lands lineup. She's not on EDC Orlando's lineup. So like, and the tickets aren't that much.
They're
so I'm like, do I
not.
do it?
They're really not. It sucks. Like, literally, that is the one weekend that we could not go. I was like,
Yeah. And it's actually my birthday weekend too. So I'm like, Kristen, buy these.
Do it. You gotta do it. Just do it. YOLO.
That's basically the sign for everything. Just do it. Who cares?
Nike.
Right. So, I like I said, I think most of our lists are pretty good. I mean, I didn't even think about Shambhala. I forget that BTSM plays with that every single year, usually. Um,
Good old Canada Festival.
but yeah, but EDC Vegas.
Probably be there too.
Who?
Rez, she's Canadian.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
yeah.
is. She is.
Shout out Canada.
I feel like EDC Vegas is definitely the one that, like you guys said, is basically the pinnacle. I mean,
Well, let's start planning for 2022.
yeah, we're gonna have
Start
to
saving money now.
we're gonna have to
In
put
there.
put that
Oh.
together as a group.
I would love to
Ah.
have it.
I love planning something like a year to a year and a half out. 'Cause
Right.
I always break it down into like you just need to save this
This
many dollars
amount.
per month.
That's why I
Like,
love payment plans. They're great.
Well, that's the nice thing about like EDC and other places. I mean, you can do payment plans. Usually split it up. Because I know my Orlando payment, I was able to split it up to 8 payments, I think, and it made
Yeah.
it really cheap.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. That's the best thing about some of these shows, or some of these festivals. Sorry, that I don't think is offered at some of these other just genres of music. I mean, I think it's starting to become more popular to have payment plans, which is fantastic. I mean, even the Excision Beach Festival. I think he said, what was it? If you go with a group of 4 people and you get an all-inclusive package, for one of like the either first tier, or second tier style packages, it was still only going to be like $100 a month up until
Yeah.
the month before. Like that's not bad. All inclusive to freaking Mexico? Are you kidding me? Like that's pretty freaking good if you ask me. But you know,
It is, especially because, like, I mean, you know, we'll just use Devin as an example. Like, I mean, Devin liked to get a White Claw, and I know those weren't cheap. So, like, he could have just carried two White Claws around with him
the
at that
whole time,
festival.
the whole time, like it's crazy.
Stop.
That's crazy. Yeah. If that becomes, I want to see how it goes because I don't have my passport or anything. So,
Yeah.
I know the delay on that's pretty hefty now. So we'll see.
I feel like Vegas is a little like if we want to do EDC Vegas, like we could definitely do it, especially because hotels in Vegas
I
are
love
cheap.
Vegas.
Yeah.
No, we're
So
staying at the Cosmo. Let me tell you.
Yikes.
I went to Vegas.
Yikes.
I mean, it wasn't crazy expensive to stay there either. They have lots of deals, but yeah, we're staying at the
just
Cosmo.
saying we should
That
start
place
planning
was
it now.
amazing.
We'll go to EDC Vegas in 2022. I think they do it what, May?
I'm in.
That's usually
I'm
when they have
May.
it.
Yeah, it's usually.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm in."
We left Vegas that I regretted not going sooner because I had multiple opportunities and I was like, "Oh, Vegas, I'm not into gambling. It won't be that fun." And then I went, and it was great. I even gambled, and it was fun. Like it was the first time I've ever had any fun gambling in my entire life. So I
Well,
was pretty cool with it. It's a vibe. It's an experience.
let's start to wrap it a little bit up. Lala, I know a lot of people saw that photo, and now that you said what you said about the entry, so were they forcing everyone that was there to show that card? I mean, looking at that picture, there's no possible way that every single person at that show was vaccinated. I don't believe it.
I mean, I don't believe that every person was vaccinated. I definitely don't believe that. There was definitely a way I could see people getting around it, but not like a ton of people. Like you would have basically you would have to have pre-knowledge before you went that you could get away with it before you would even go and try this.
Right.
So, whatever. And there were people who carried their vaccine cards on like lanyards.
Yeah. Which
I still wore a mask there just because I'd be stressing. So,
that's fine.
I err on the side of caution, not to upset anybody. But it was cool. I mean, I loved it. The picture you saw was probably of one of the main stages for someone super popular. And that is how that's my third year I've been at Lala in some capacity. And for the main stages, it's packed. It's crazy.
There's just no way. Like that just does not look fun. I don't care.
I don't like the packed stuff.
I don't care how much I would want to have Lala on my list of festivals to go to. If I went to main stage and saw that, I would be like, I'm good back here. I don't even
They
see.
usually do a good job with their sets of splitting it up so it's not just like all like that. And they have like a dedicated EDM stage, which is basically where Macy and I stayed all day. I actually don't think we went to another stage at all.
Yeah.
Because we were there to see Alice in Wonderland because we probably can't go see her at Red Rocks, even though Macy has tickets. So and Chicago is only a 3 hour drive for us. So
Right.
we went, we saw her. It was really great. Perry stage isn't nearly that packed. I know at like 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, we literally went up to the front and we couldn't get directly on the rail because Macy is like, oh, let's wait here, and then she changed her mind, thankfully, because I don't like being super packed in the crowd either. Um, but yeah, the EDM stage was never like that. I had room to move and dance and do whatever I felt like doing. Yellow Claw was like right before Alice in Wonderland. I don't know if you all have heard him, but he had a set that really blew me away. I'll probably listen to more of his music after seeing that
Yeah,
set.
Yellow Claw's good.
Yeah. If he uploads that set, watch it.
Okay.
Okay.
I can do that. So that kind of leads me into my next thing. I've seen a lot of comments lately about the idea of mixed festivals, and I'm talking Hard Summer, Coachella, Lala, all these festivals that like to mix genres together with their lineups. How do you guys feel about that? I think me personally, I don't mind the idea of, expanding your horizon with music taste and things like that. One of the most prime examples is if you look at Woolie's set, that clip that he showed that was probably about 10 seconds long, where he's got just a sea of people headbanging to his song. And I guarantee you, probably a third, maybe 2/3 of the people in the crowd have never even heard of who Woolie is. So I think it's cool in the sense that, you're starting to expand individuals' horizons on different genres of music. But at the same time, for me, if I'm going to a festival and I'm specifically looking to, experience just EDM alone, and then you've got the Brads and Chads and Tads and Thads and other individuals who know nothing about the scene are starting to come over and, kind of be weird about the vibes and stuff. I just don't know if that's something that I would want to put myself in. So that's just my take on it. Again, I'm open to having anybody and everybody check out different genres of music. I want people to love EDM. I want people to love hip hop. I want people to love country. I don't care. But I feel like that just kind of opens the door for people to be more disrespectful about other genres and things like that.
I don't know. I mean, I've never really even thought about that. Like out of all the festivals I've been to, like whether it had like multiple genres or just like electronic, and I've been to both, and the vibes can be like it's more dependent on the festival itself, it seems like, because Bonnaroo is mixed genre and the vibes are immaculate. I've never had an issue with another person at Bonnaroo that I can think of.
And I think Bonnaroo has its own style of its own culture. A lot of the people that have been there for multiple years. That's their home. But when you think about Lolla, Coachella, it's got this sort of theme that is more, I don't want to say frat-esque, but a lot of people just want to go to say that they've been there. Like, oh, I've been to Lolla, I went to Coachella. And so
it's like an influencer.
Exactly. So it's not really more so people are going for the vibes. They're just going to say that they've been there. Like, they saw some random rap artist that they've just randomly started listening to. Like, I remember when I was at coaching at St. Henry, when I was coaching at Henry County my first year, and I was getting ready to go to Forecastle last year, I forget, there was some rap artist that was on the list that I've never heard of. I mean, it was like it was like Johnny Popsicle or something. It was some stupid name or something. But one of the high school kids was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm going to Forecastle to see Young Popsicle," and I'm like, "What?
Oh my god.
Why?" I'm like, there is literally, I'm going to see the 1975, and I'm going to see this person. I'm going to see this person. I'm going to see this person. I'm going to see Brockhampton. I'm going to see Manchester Orchestra. And then they want to see this person. I'm just like, it's so weird because I know that, like, they're not going to go for the experience. They're just going to, because their friends are saying that they're going to go see this one person. I mean, I've been around it, but I don't
We've all
know.
done that.
I don't
We've all
know.
done that, especially when you're young. Forecastle is a good example of that because I feel like a lot of young, like high school or just out of high school people go in Louisville
Yeah.
to that, and so I feel like that's a good example. Generally, I feel like the rule with me is that a city festival is going to be like that, and then you have like exceptions both ways. So like Coachella isn't really in like a city like Governor's Ball in New York City is like that. Lollapalooza is like that. Coachella is like that.
Yep.
You know, where you have people going just for the look, just for the image, just for like the influencer type vibe. And then, you know, on the opposite end of the spectrum, you have stuff like Bonnaroo or Lost Lands or Electric Forest, even, or Halloween. I know you,
Mm.
neither of you mentioned Halloween. Disappointed in both of you, but we'll talk about it later. Halloween is like Electric Forest vibes, but even better. Like, and it's smaller, and it's in Florida on Halloween weekend, but it's probably the best vibes I've ever experienced at any event. Just flat out. I mean, it was it's something amazing. They have Skrillex this year. Just throwing that out there for you guys. Do with that information what you will.
There.
Um, but then you know there are city festivals that have like a culture and a really good vibe. Buku in New Orleans.
Buku's really good. I really want to go there.
I've been there 2 times and then was going to go again in 2020, and it's one of my favorite. It is like the exception to my City Fest rule because City Festivals have to end earlier, and they generally just bring out a more like, you know, a younger crowd and like a crowd that's just there to like party or like
Right.
show off that they were there is my experience
Right.
with those. But yeah, there are exceptions both ways. I mean, I don't know if genre is the defining thing for me, but I will say I've never been to an EDM. Well, no, that one was mixed genre. Uh, I don't know. I don't feel like I've ever been to an EDM only festival where people were just there for like the clout, because I guess it's still fringe enough to where people are like, what clout? Like, what clout am I going to get for going to
It's
Lost
fair.
Lands?
It's fair. We need to make a EDM and country festival. Our headliners are Excision and Luke Bryan. Sheesh! What a lineup that would be. Could you imagine?
You're the 1% of people that would see that lineup and be
Yeah.
happy.
Country step, baby. Let's get it.
You need to get on Ableton and start
Bro,
putting
I'm
out-
telling you, I'm just gonna throw on some Luke Bryan vocals over an Excision virus track or something. It'd be hype. Trowski, what you got, man?
I mean, I've only been, I guess, to one multi-genre festival, and that was Bonnaroo. And for me, it didn't matter. I feel like the nice thing about it is, you know, well, I wouldn't say. I mean, if people don't want to listen to EDM, they're not gonna sit there through an entire set. So
Exactly.
like, they won't be there hanging out. And at least it makes it less crowded. Like Devin said, that Lawless picture that pretty much a lot of people saw, I'm sure that was a main headliner, and I'm sure when you look at the EDM, you know, side of things, I bet it was pretty empty over there. So like, you know, for me, I like to go to the more EDM shows, like even at Bonnaroo, like there's very few people that I'll probably go see that aren't EDM. So to me, it doesn't matter, but I do understand like the whole like people just going there to, like everyone's saying, get clout. I mean, that can be
Take
annoying.
pictures. God, I never
But-
take any pictures. I'm
right.
glad that we did that at reunion because I usually go and I look at my phone afterwards, and I have a terrible video quality video, and then like a dumb selfie of me and all my friends, and that's it.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, Like I said, I've only been to one and it was fun. Like even when I went to go see like Childish Gambino, everybody was kind of just vibing. They weren't really just just hanging out or talking crap or anything like that, starting arguments. So, but again, Bonnaroo it seems like a pretty different scenario. Everybody's pretty friendly and outgoing there.
Okay, I can respect that. Well, as far as next week goes, couple things are on the radar. I'm going to do my best. I still haven't looked at the tickets. I've been really lazy. Hopefully tomorrow. Louis the Child next Wednesday in Louisville. I'm gonna do my best to go check that out. I've seen some videos that they've posted, and it looks like a freaking great time. And obviously, I really want to see Jai Wolf again. So hopefully, if I get the opportunity to go to that, I'll have some updates from the show from that next week. And then Trowski, we've kind of talked about this, and it's honestly crept up on us, and I didn't realize it until today. But Interstellar is next week.
Yeah, I know.
Interstellar is next week.
That's such a good lineup too.
It is a really good lineup. I think if I were to go, I think I'm going to be in Columbus next weekend, so I wouldn't be able to go anyways. But there's a few artists on there. Adventure Club is the big one that I would love to see Saturday night. But for anybody that is interested in doing something next weekend, Interstellar, go check it out. $80 a ticket for single day tickets, and I think it's $170 for the entire weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So pretty good deal. Got some good artists on there. Tynan, Adventure Club, Boombox Cartel, AU5, Liquid Strangers on Sunday. And then they've got a ton of local artists that are going to be performing that are pretty good, that usually open up for some of the big headliners that come through the area. So definitely going to be a good time. And then the last thing on here is some of the new artists. Like I said earlier, Lodis, Lodis, all caps. Definitely need to check them out. They have 3 songs that I pretty much have in rotation all the time. Beautiful Disasters, the one with Bear Grylls. That song is amazing. Broken with Josh Rubin. Awesome. That one's probably my top on that list. And then anybody that knows Glass Cat for vocals, legit. Lost the Plot, that's the other one. So I would definitely check out those 3 songs if you want a new artist. And then also Subsidia, Dawn 4 just recently came out. I haven't got a chance to sit there and listen through all of it, but what I've heard so far, really good. Really good. So definitely would check those out. We will be back next week, hopefully.
Good. I'm ready.
We'll update everybody with the topic. I know I've screwed up with the release of last week's episode on YouTube, but it is up there now. If you guys get the opportunity, go check it out. And then I'll have this one up hopefully on Monday as well. I'll start working on it probably tomorrow because I'm not really doing much tomorrow. As far as the game,
you, Jalen.
Yeah, I'm doing the best I can. Aside from that, gaming wise, I'm probably gonna try and go live again tomorrow. This is the first Friday that I've had in a while that I'm not out of the state or out of the city. So I might be back with some Apex vibes tomorrow. We'll see what's popping. But I'll probably be playing something online tomorrow. So if you guys get a chance to stop by, say hi, be much appreciated. Till then, see you guys on the next stream. And Bros and Shows are signing out. See y'all.